Good time now to bring in Labor Secretary Marty Walsh. Mr. Secretary, thank you for joining us. I guess let's begin with your reaction to this report.
Certainly encouraged by the report today. As you just mentioned before I got on here, 916,000 new jobs, 6.6% unemployment rate, which is good, but we still have much more work to do. We feel that a lot of this gain this month was due to good economic policy, but also a competent vaccination plan. A lot more people are getting more confident in coming back into the workforce.
Construction was healthy, up 110,000. As Edward just said, leisure and hospitality adding another 280,000. Are you concerned, though, and we've seen this before, that companies get used to keeping their production pretty high while doing it with less people? So getting back full employment, is that going to be a challenge?
I don't think it will be. I think in those two industries that you just mentioned, in construction, there's many projects across this country that needs to get started and moving forward. Some of those projects are behind because of the pandemic, so you're going to see owners and people that want to speed those projects up. And in the hospitality industry, you know, the more people we get vaccinated and the more confident that we bring back to people and the more we beat back this virus, there's still a whole bunch of different areas, convention center business and other businesses that still haven't fully come back yet. So we have a lot of room for growth in those areas.
Is this all down to the reopening of the economy?
No, I think that's part of it, but I also think that we have to think about, as we continue to hopefully see these numbers month after month, and we don't really see a trend yet, so we still have a long way to go. A year ago today, the jobs report was a very sobering one, so we still have a way to go, but it's not just about recovering these jobs, it's also about building back the middle class, and the president has a plan. He unveiled a plan this week about creating opportunities to get more people into the middle class, and that's something that's going to be important moving forward as far as economic policies for the United States of America and for the American workers.
We've just seen another round of stimulus payments go out. Are you concerned that there are people out there who say, look, with my benefits and stimulus checks, I'm a little bit disincentivized if you like to go out and get a job. I'm quite happy to receive government help.
I don't think it's been a year now. The pandemic's been going on for a year. I think most people want to get back to some semblance of normal life. They want to get back to work. They want to get back to their routines. And I think that that's something I wouldn't be concerned about right now, quite honestly. I think the stimulus checks that went out the other day are helping people pay rent, helping people put food on the table, helping people kind of stay afloat. But I do think at the end of the day, Americans want to get back to work. I hear about it every day. You know, a year is a long time. Some folks have been out of work for a year. Some folks are working from home. Some folks are working part-time. I think people are generally excited about getting back to the way life was as far as their economy. I don't think many people felt that this would go on for a year and a year plus that they're out of work. I don't think anyone wants to be out of work.
And also, President Biden has tapped you, along with 4 other cabinet members, to help sell his infrastructure plan. What do you say to critics who call this the Green New Deal in disguise? I've heard that said.
Yeah, I mean, the president announced it 2 days ago. We have lots of work to do to go out and talk about this plan. I look forward to coming back on your show and talking about the details of what we want to see. We're going to work with Congress. We're going to work with members of Congress on both sides of the aisle. This should not be a Democrat or Republican bill. This is an American bill. This is about getting people back to work. This is about building our infrastructure. We have crumbling roads and bridges all across this country. We have money in this proposal for the care economy. We have money in this for clean water, for schools, for hospitals, VA hospitals. There's a lot of opportunity with the American Jobs Plan to continue to move America forward. This bill is also building on the momentum of what we're feeling today. And again, a one-day report. It's encouraging. It's great to see. I hope it continues on forever. This is my first jobs day, so I hope I get a chance to sit here and talk to you every month saying it's getting better and better. That would be wonderful. But there's still lots of work to do in our country.
Yes, there is, and we look forward to it. Listen, higher taxes, Secretary, corporate tax rate going up to 28%. There are those that would say it makes U.S. companies less competitive. It forces them to reassess, hurts job creation, everything that you don't want to happen for the economy.
Actually, the idea behind this plan is actually to create more jobs and to get more benefits, and I think that we'll have more investment in our economy. And again, we're going to have the conversations around the tax rate as we continue to move forward here, but the idea behind the plan is not just about investing $2 trillion, it's about $2 trillion that's going to multiply, and that money will come back into our economy. It's just like the idea of getting people back to work today. When we talk about 916,000 people back in the workforce, that means there are more people buying coffee in coffee shops, there are more people buying lunch and sandwich shops. There are more people able to go into our retail stores and shop. It's good to generate this type of excitement into our economy.
Labour Secretary Marty Walsh, thank you so much, Secretary, for joining us on Fox Business this morning. We do appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.